Hello and welcome back to the Turtlehead Boys. Today we are on the Hall River and my good friend Chris Truitt is joining me today as we dive into one of our Turtlehead Boys mysteries. A little backstory to this trip. A while back, my friend Tristan and I were doing an overnight trip after work. And we put in at Bynum and was paddling down for a while and then going to set up camp and stay overnight. Well, everything went as planned that day, and we even had a big downpour that night, which made sleeping really easy. The only issue is that when we woke up the next morning to break down camp, there was a footprint directly behind the tent where my head was laying, and it was like, judging by the size, it was probably like a small woman or a small kid. So we hurried up and packed up and got out of Dodge. Now there's nothing really in the area that would suggest somebody was camping in this area or staying in this area. We kind of looked up and found this spot. When we found it, we pulled out our phones and was looking on the GPS and made sure there was nothing around us really that would have anybody walking up on us at nighttime. But they still did. So here we found a chair that looked like maybe like an elementary school chair, just sitting on the side of the bank with a trail that cuts up in the woods. We did not decide to explore that today, so we left that alone. Kind of weird. Paddled down a little bit more and found some power wheel chair. The chair off a power wheel sitting up in there in this log jam. Again, a little weird. Finding these kids' toys just down the river like that. So here we are just going down to the spot where we saw the footprint at, and ended up seeing some deers crossing. It was a mama deer and her two little baby deers crossing, and we looked there directly in front of my boat right now. And they stopped, checked us out, and we stopped, checked them out, and then headed on our way over to the spot. So here's where it gets a little bit weird again. When we got to the spot, we were walking around checking the GoPro that I had that been working fine the whole time. All of a sudden started malfunctioning, started cutting on and off, and it was almost as if somebody was like messing with it, like pushing on and off the whole time. But we did manage to get some video of the area. Right here is where it looks like somebody's campsite was set up, and this is probably, I don't know, a couple hundred yards away from where we had the tent set up, and back into the wood line another probably 50 feet or so. And it appears that somebody had camped here you can see the stones on the ground kind of separated a little bit, like they broke up the fire pit. And the black thing on the ground is actually some burnt wood that was left over, and the leaves that done fell on top of. So right here, me and Chris are at a clearing that we seen in the woods. So ended up being just where an old oak tree fell down and took out another tree with it and made a clearing. But we did see a lot of cedar trees that were cut off about a foot or less, that have been cut off for so long that moss had done started growing on them and everything like that. I don't know if maybe it was an old logging trail or something. I have no idea. So right here is where me and Chris started smelling the strong smell of somebody's actual campfire. We could not see any smoke on the river. As you see, there's no smoke over the river, and we could not see any smoke coming from the banks anywhere. But it was so strong that it was literally like on the bank beside us, but we couldn't see anything. And we hollered, and nobody answered back. I personally feel like this is just some kid's place where he goes and plays Survivor Man, and we happened to stumble up on him that night and found his spot. But regardless, I don't think I'll be staying down this trip anymore. And with passing under the 64 bridge, we end up into the lower hall part of this section, where me and Chris fall into a nice little rhythm and just finish up the float strong, man. I had an awesome time paddling with Chris, and we solved a little bit of this mystery, and can't wait to get on the water with him again.
So lay down your burdens, lay down your shame. Oh, I'm broken. Lift up your face. Oh, wanderer, come home. You're not too far. So lay down your hurt, lay down your heart, come as you are. There's hope for the hopeless and all those who've strayed. Come sit at the table, come taste the grace. There's rest for the weary, rest that endures. Earth has no sorrow that heaven can't cure. So lay down your burdens, lay down your shame. All who are broken, lift up your face. Sinner, be still. Earth has no sorrow that heaven can't heal. Earth has no sorrow that heaven can't heal. So lay down your burdens, lay down your shame.
What you see in front of our boats is the start of Jordan Lake and the end of our trip. Hope you join us next time. Thank you for watching.